Okay, guys. Hello, everyone. Have you enjoyed the midterm exam? Yes or no? All right. Yes. I hope that you guys enjoyed the midterm exam. Well, exam is just exam. I'm sure that all of you guys, you are studying this class, this topic, only for yourself, not for the exam. Am I right? Yes, yes, it is. Yes. Okay, today we will see the another topics. ODA. This work happens in the international societies. Yes, it is. But the thing is that, yeah, we are in the Korea, so we have to think about the dimension of Korea. Yeah, Korea was one of the poorest country in the world. However, as time goes by, they made the economic progress, and also in the regarding the perspective of the democracy, yeah, Korea made also a progress in the democracy. Therefore, the Korean society could make the development, the economic ways or the social ways. Nowadays, yeah, this country or the people in the country became one of the developed, yeah, country, society, or person in the international community. Many kind of cultural research of the societies became of the target of enjoy of the people in the international societies. So therefore, many people all over the world they may ask to the Korean societies, could you something? Yeah, yes, it is. As the good example of the development progress or ODA works in international societies, Korea have to do something. And they have to share their knowledge or experiences with the many members of international communities and many developing countries. They can take the Korean example as the good model for themselves. So from now, yeah, we will move our focus from international societies to Korea. Of course, the ODA works of Korea is related to the international societies. Yes, so from today, we will see the Korean ODA works. Okay, let's start from the fundamental things of Korean economy and ODA works. Let's start part one. Miracle of Han River. Yeah. Just after the Korean War, since 1950s, Korea was one of the poorest country in the world. No infrastructure, yeah, and devastated natural resources. Korea couldn't have any chance to take the economic, any chances to make the economic development. However, since 1960s to the 1990s, maybe until now, Korea could make very fast economic development or progress in the world. So Korea is one of the world's fast-growing economies from 1960s until the 1990s. For several decades, the economic progress is unbelievable things. So many specialists may evaluate those kind of research with these words, the miracle of Han River. Yeah. Nowadays, Korea is the 10th or 11th largest economy in the world. You know, Korea is a very small country in the world, and furthermore, the Korean Peninsula was divided by the two different sections, North Korea and South Korea. Therefore, we can say that there are so many obstacles for the economic progress. And also, no natural resources. And after the war, Korea had to start their economic progress from zero base. So the starting point was very bad, very lower level, but they could make lots of speedy development research of economy. Yes, we can say that so many kind of economic development story in Korea, but in this lecture, we don't have to talk about the details on that. We just only focus on the ODA project. So since 1960s, I mean, actually 1950s, after the Korean War, Korea, they could make the economic progress or social progress with the help of development projects from all over the world. Well, late of 1990s, Korea, this society has to struggle to the Asian financial crisis since 1997, I think. However, those kind of crises, it was big obstacles for the Korean economy. However, this society, they overcame the obstacles even. So since 2000, Korean society has changed their mainstream, and these days, Korea could make lots of cultural product and new issues in the international society. So economic progress, not just economic progress, but also cultural dimension. They make a huge influence to the many countries in the world. Korean War was a starting point of the economic progress of Korea. For several decades, Korea had to be dominated by the Japanese imperialism. After the Joseon dynasty, with Japanese imperialism, Korea had to be aggressively changed in many ways. After the independence from the Japanese imperialism, the Korea had to be divided by the two parts, North Korea and South Korea. So North Korea, as you may know, it was dominated by the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and we can call that as North Korea. And the south part of Korean Peninsula was ruled by the just Republic of Korea, that is South Korea. Well, then, late of 1940s, Korea became a kind of stage of Cold War competition, ideology competition. So, US friendly group, United States friendly groups, such as United States, Japan, and the Western European countries, and former Soviet Union friendly groups, such as Soviet Union and China, People's Republic of China, which is based on the Beijing. Yeah. So, in Korean Peninsula, where they divided by the two sections, North Korea and South Korea was a kind of symbol of ideology, two different ideologies. United States friendly group in South Korea and the former Soviet Union friendly group in North Korea, they compete each other, and 1950, yeah, they got their war. That is Korean War. Korean War, it was kind of momentum of international history. After the Second World War, they believed that no more World War. If we have the Third World War, the human beings will be disappeared. However, in Korean Peninsula, it's like a small world war. Many countries to be engaged with this small war. Of course, the battlefield was the Korean Peninsula, but so many countries has to be engaged with this war. So the Korean War was a starting point of Cold War period. So the end of the Korean War, it was the year 1953. With the end of Korean War, the Korean economic infrastructure and many other things, social structure was collapsed, totally collapsed. So many people died, and then, again, North Korea and South Korea, they couldn't make united Korea in any way. So the Korean Peninsula was divided by the two sections, North Korea and South Korea, and then they made demilitarized zone, DMZ, as a borderline between two Koreas. Since then, North Korea and South Korea, they had to take the different directions for their social or economic progress. Until the early of 1960s, South Korea was a bit late regarding the progress of economy comparing to the North Korea. And then South Korean government tried to many efforts to make economic progress, but without any kind of positive source, such as natural resource or good educated people or good work power, nothing. No natural resources, overpopulation in the small territory, no educational institution, no skillful work power. So, without any infrastructures, economic progress was very far from reality of South Korea. Therefore, international society started to help Korea. Of course, North Korea was helped by the former Soviet Union friendly group. But in the south part of Korean Peninsula was supported by United States friendly groups. So during the 1950s or early of 1960s, big percentage of South Korean economy was related to their ODA works from international societies. So foreign aid, it was definite main source of Korean economy. Many people, they believe that there's no hopes, no positive hopes for the Korean economy. I mean, South Korean economy. No infrastructure, no natural resources. Many people, they had to struggle to their hunger nets, no hospital systems, no higher level of education system, not good schools. Yeah, there's no hopes. There's no positive point for the economic progress. So many many specialists in international societies, they evaluate the reality of South Korea. There's no hope. But in the 1960s, with the political leadership, the President Park Chung-hee, actually he was the dictator, so he was very far from the democracy, but he made economic progress with his flagship economic policy, that is 5-year economic development plan since 1962. Well, dictatorship, the politician pushed the people and the societies to do something. It's kind of order from the political power to the normal people. And then they started infrastructure establishment project. For that, they needed lots of money, but the money was provided by international societies, such as United States or Japan. Of course, World Bank or Asian Development Bank, those kind of MDB, they invested the money as the part of ODA project. The Korean government, they could use the loans, ODA loans from the MDBs, such as World Bank or Asian Development Bank, etc. So with that big money, they could make infrastructure to do some business or activity, economic activity. And they could make the shipbuilding yard, or the factories for the car making. Since 1960s, they could start a little bit progress. Small progress, but big result since 1960s. But please remember that these small progress couldn't make in an immediate, very short time. This progress, it can not be happened in the very short term. Since 1960s, Korean economy, they had to meet the very big hurdles or obstacles, such as oil shock and the war and the economic fluctuation. However, Korea, this country could overcome these kind of hurdles and the obstacles. Until the 1990s, Korea could make the huge progress of economy, and since 2000, Korea could make the could show the good result to the international society. In 1990s, they believed that it's time to do something for the international societies, and then they joined to the OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and development. We know that these international organizations. And then, since then, Korean economic development model became one of the good, positive example and hopes or dream for the developing countries. From the one of the poorest country in the world, they level up to the developed countries club in a short period, in a several decades. Yeah, is unbelievable research. And then 2010, yeah, among the OECD memberships, Korea could join to the DAC, the Development Assistance Committee in the OECD. Yeah. We also know that what is the DAC. So since 2010, Korea became one of the major development project partners. I mean the donor countries in the international societies. So Korean development project has their own different colors because majority of deep dark group members are basically original developed countries. But yeah, Korea, this country was not the developed countries several decades ago, but they changed their status from developing level to the developed level, and they became the DAC. Therefore, international societies they evaluate Korea this case as a very special things. Okay. So Korea, they wanted to do something for the international society or for the developing countries. They wanted to make the real friendship with the developing country because Korea itself, it was the one of the developing countries in the world, but they changed their status to the upper level. But it is not just for the economic things, but also it is related to the other social point, that is democracy as well. Korea wants to do their development project with the developing countries in the many dimensions. So here we can say that there's two approaches. One is the very official method, that is ODA project. And the other one is non-official method, that is non-ODA projects. Mainly, it is related to their NGOs or private sector, that is companies or individuals. You know, in the international societies, many Korean individuals, I mean the just natural person, or Korean companies, or NGOs, which is from Korea, they are doing many kind of assistance projects for the developing country. It is not ODA. Sometimes ODA, real ODA project and non-ODA project, they can make cooperation. The possibilities of mixture is quite positive. In the international stages, Korea support many special fund for the international organizations, so with the hand of the international organizations, Korea could indirectly help the other countries as well. So directly, indirectly, officially or unofficially, Korea, they are doing many things. Korean people, Korean societies, or Korean government or NGOs, whatever, some kind of Korean something, they are doing many works with the developing countries. Okay, let's see the Korean ODA works a bit more details. I said that Korea was one of the poorest country, and since 1950s, Korea was one of the major target of ODA project in the world. So Korean people had to survive with the nutrition from ODA works from all of the world. So Korea was major recipient, receiver, of ODA. Nowadays, with the very fast economic progress, Korea, they are sharing their knowledge and their information with many ODA projects. So now this country became a donor. From recipient to the donor, they changed their status. So in the ODA communities in the world, Korea was the one of the major recipient, the major target of ODA project. But nowadays, they became major donor countries to help developing countries with very special experience, with the very special cases in the international societies. So Korean ODA, they have their own colors. Of course, I don't want to say that Korean ODA project is perfect. Yes, there's still a long way to go. Not perfect, but they have special point. Okay, in 1950s and 1960s, definitely Korea was the recipient, major recipient of international ODA. After the Korean War, lots of things were devastated, and economic infrastructures, collapsed. So they have to take the assistance from the international societies to help the Korean people. But since 1960s, many specialists, they started to say that there's no hope. Even though international societies poured lots of ODA projects, they couldn't help Korea to jump up to the upper level. There's no hope. So, since 1960s, international societies, they started to reduce their the ODA project. So the Korean societies, they had to change their mind, not just for the relying on the free money. They have to change their economic system, make money with our hand. So the growth and foreign investment, the investment for the economic activities, these money, they had to change. They have to replace the humanitarian assistance. So before then, since 1950s, after the Korean War, normally the ODA project was based on the humanism, to provide nutrition for their people. But since 1960s, many kind of economic projects from all over the world to the Korea, they've changed their colors. Investment for economic activities of Korea. For their reconstruction of Korean economy, so since 1960s, they had to change their economic shape from relying on the assistance, to their changing to their economic activities with their assistance of international societies. So, if we can say that in 1950s, the helps came from the grant, that is free money for the surviving of people. They changed their colors of money to the concessional loans. Loans, money, which must be paid back in the future. 1960s, since 1960s, with the concessional money, Korea have to do something, economic work, to pay back in the future. So with that money, Korea, this society has to build factories or infrastructure for the industrialization of Korean economy. Okay? Then 1970s, with the background of infrastructure, they could make economic progress. 1970s, 1980s, of course, they had many kind of economic crisis. The hurdles, obstacles, such as oil shock, something like that. But those kind of situation became the momentum of the changing of their shape of Korean economy. So in 1970s, they started the shipbuilding business or car making business. Before then, they had to make the very light product, making textile, socks. But in 1970s, before then, socks and textile. After then, car making, shipbuilding, or machine making. Heavy chemical industry became one of the major industry of Korea since 1970s. 1980, semiconductor, television, electronic devices became major new industry for Korean economy. And 1990s, they've changed their the economic style. With new infrastructures from semiconductor, and another point of things such as mobile phone, notebook computers, etc. And then since 1990s, Korea, they started to reduce the receiving assistance. So 1990s, they became donor country from recipient. Before then, they could make the economic progress with the help of ODA program or project. But since 1990s, they started to help, in many ways, the other countries. So 1990s, they finished the assistance from international societies. And then they started to help other countries. And then since 2000, they started to do many a Korean-style ODA project for the developing countries. Okay, guys. Korea was one of the major recipients as the ODA community since 1950s. However, they could make economic progress themselves. They eagerly received the international investment, and they poured the money to their make the infrastructure for the economic development. With the many economic development projects, they could make the good research, and then since 1950s, since 1950s to 1990s, they could make the good research, and then 1990s, they became one of the major donor countries in the ODA project. Now, Korea, they are doing assisting developing countries, and they are supporting various types of MDBs and even private sectors for the people in the developing world. Okay, this is the end of part 1. Thank you very much.